What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the top of the map in the red color, playing as Poseidon. His name is Squash! Squash! His opponent today in the blue color is none other than King Kimo himself, playing as Hades. The map is Savannah. What a time to be alive. We've got two of the greatest Age of Mythology of the Titans players going at it in the 1v1 scene, and I'm excited to see this. Kimo, one of the strongest defenders in the game. Squash, one of the best macro players in the game. Both going at it in the Greek War on a super open map like Savannah. We are in for an absolute treat here, ladies and gentlemen. This Savannah map here, its gold mines are kind of positioned very, very out of the way here now for Kimo. He's actually going to have a difficult time securing this if he does decide to go for sort of fast second town centers against maybe Squash going for high energy, like kind of classical age shenanigans. But we might see that all being okay here. And we've also got down over here in this little corner, we've got the arrows of the alpha, plus 20% building pierce damage. We've also got over the right side of the map, the opposite side of the map, we've got the toothed arrows. So this is the extra 5% archer baluster and Kara baluster pierce damage. So both relics very, very strong here. And we do get the Savannah spawn with back town centers. So both back town centers here are going to be very, very interesting. And a lot of the times when we have maps like this, if the map goes past, say, 12 minutes without any kind of craziness, I would say, without any craziness, then oftentimes these games go very, very late. And we can possibly see upwards of an hour long games in the Greek mirror on this sort of map. So we'll see if we're going to get something like that in the future here. Kimo chucking up his granary over on this location and doing all of the good stuff here. So Kimo's finished up his rhino, so he will have to move forward. There are only 2 giraffe here, and this is another one of those maps. So this is another reason why Savannah sometimes goes hyper late game with back town centers. It's because, well, look at how much hunt's on the map. We've got three giraffe, 2 giraffe. That's 5 giraffe here total. Other hunt, there's monkeys or baboon. What are they? Baboon here. So there's really not that much food on the map for either player to play with here. So chances are, if I had this map here in either player's position, I would say, I'm just going to go 3 town centers straight away. I'm going to go up 5:15 or 5:30, go 3 town centers here, and just call it a day. We're playing this late game. I'm going to go hyper boom and enjoy like a 40-minute game against my opponent if he decides to go 3 town centers as well. And we're just in the same position, and it's all going to be about controlling the map better, making better decisions, and macroing just a little bit better than your opponent. But we are seeing a fast advance here from Squash, and Kimo still not advancing to the next age just yet. So I do like this from Kimo. I do think he should wait. I don't think he should be going for a 4:30. Definitely 5:15 here. Much quicker, or much quicker to get the 3 town centers up, and you catch up on those lost villages that your opponent gets very, very quickly. Your opponent can obviously go 2 town centers into the 3rd town center and kind of come out equal-ish, but it is what it is. So we are seeing these villagers over here putting their food into the granary. We see the hyena has been sniped here. Is this village at 13 HP remaining? Moving up to the top side of the map. Ooh. That's cheeky. You see these villagers have moved from the granary over to this location, chucked the storehouse down, and they're going to be chopping wood right next to the town center to get that one instantly up. Do you see these this Katoskopos coming in, going to be hitting these villagers, doing all of the good stuff. Anyways, we've got the Ajax out for Kimo. He's going to be moving forward, checking some things out. There's Squash's classical age through Hermes, nice and early. Town center coming up. I'm pretty sure we don't even see, well, we do have a Theseus, but we won't be seeing that Hippolyta anytime soon here. And the question is, Kimo, what you doing, my dude? You got 2 villagers on wood. You got next to nothing on wood now. What's your plan? He's got 5 villagers on food. These villagers moving back home now. What is his plan? I don't know. I mean, he's gonna have enough. He's gonna have enough to build the town center straight away, but who knows? Forgetting to build a villager. Kimo. There he goes. And he is going to be chucking up this town center over here. It looks like these villagers made the great journey over onto this location. He hasn't actually... He's got no idea where his town center is. He doesn't know. There it is as he's chucking his town center. That's funny. That is funny right there. Kimo going to get that one up. Squash going to have a very big advantage now. 2 town centers versus 1 town center. Is going to be just a couple of villages in front, which means he'll be able to get this town center up first, which means he'll get to the heroic age first, which means he'll get to the mythic age first, which means he should be in a very, very good position. We do see this centaur over here will get sniped off as well. The Ajax. Chad Jax coming through. Going to jab that centaur to death. Nice play there from Kimo in order to pick that one off. First blood has been drawn. Now, Kimo does have 8 villagers on wood here. And that does indicate that he kind of wants to go to the next stage. Still only 5 villagers on food. If you want to do the macro perfectly here, you need about 8 villagers on food for the 2 town centers, but you also need an extra 100 food to come in. So 9 or 10 villagers on food here while you're gearing up to get to the next town center is very smart. But Squash is creating his 3rd town center here, and he's going to be completely fine with this. I do still think that advancing to the classical age later and chucking both the town centers up at the same time here is the optimal way to play, but this is a close secondary here, and it's much safer to do it this way than the way I suggested, because obviously you are safer if you do this. But Squash has got a lot of herdables left. We will have to see farms here. This is not one of those 1 town center maps where you can kind of go semi-fast mythic or anything like that. So getting himself those herdables, eating them up, feeling good about his decision. We see this Minotaur coming onto this position. Hippolyta here and Theseus here. But the Minotaur turns around and he bashes the Katoskopos away to his death as he sinks into the ground and has to go, well, it's been fun, but I'm dead. And the Minotaur will get taken down here. Theseus is 0.1 speed faster than the Minotaur, so we'll be able to take that one down. And Kimo says, well, you got 2 town centers. I'm going to get 2 town centers. And where is my 2nd town center? He's got no idea. This Ajax is scouting around. He might think it's here. This is where I would think the town center is if I was Kimo, but given the maps here, we do know that it is over on this location. And he is going to be coming over here to check. He might even grab the relic while he's over here. But, ooh. I don't actually know what Kimo's plan is here. Like, this doesn't make any sense. What can he raid? What has he scouted that he can raid here? Because essentially what Kimo's saying is, I don't accept that your 2 town centers are safe enough for you to get away with this. That's what he's saying. This is a point where he can raid. This hunt is literally, I mean, and this, I wouldn't expect my opponent to be out here yet. And he can easily just leave if he sees there's too many units here. Or just cast ceasefire as well. But we are seeing some units getting picked off on this location. But going units here doesn't make a whole lot of sense for Kimo. So we'll see if he's going to be able to make it work. But I feel like Squash is easily going to be able to defend this. And Kimo is basically needs to pick off a villager every 15 seconds. Otherwise, he's going to be severely hurting. And the other thing is that Kimo's spending all of this wood now on Toxotes. He's not going to have the wood to build farms, which he's going to desperately need. We do see these villagers just going to calmly retreat away from this location. And the giraffe just about to be finished off. We'll start seeing farms going down. We do see some Toxotes coming over onto these berry bushes. It's very safe now to just get watchtowers and just sit back and be completely fine here. Walls, watchtowers, don't even worry about it. But Kimo is actually getting some good damage done nonetheless. But I don't really see it at this point. Moving into the town center fire here. Going to be able to take this fight completely fine. We do see a Toxote getting sniped down before the town center almost finishes off a Hippocon there. Is Kimo going to have to retreat away? Is he still producing units? He is still producing units. The farms are starting to come down. We do not have plow just yet for Kimo, though it is coming through. Squash, on the other hand, he doesn't have any farms just yet. In fact, something wild that might happen here. No, there's no real way. Surely not. I was going to say something wild that might happen here is Squash might be able to go to the heroic age without farming, which is insane because if he does that, then he can throw a market down and buy his way to the Mythic age, get Hephaestus, and be in a ridiculously commanding position. Just in terms of economic units that he's got. But I guess Kimo's out on the map, so you got to be careful about a gold star and things like that. Anyways, Kimo's still going to try and push in. Nice garrison there from Squash. Holding on against this early pressure here from Kimo, just making it look very, very easy at this point. See these villagers dropping off of the herdables here. Squash realizing gonna have to start farming soon. He does have a couple of farms up, and he's got plow, he's got he's got plow and husbandry, no hand axe, no pickaxe, no real problems there. But we will be seeing this temple starting to go down as Squash has got arrows of the alpha and the toothed arrows in there, so he's not going to want to give that one back because that's kind of making the archers very close in damage. 6.82 versus 7.15, and that's because 5% is less than 10%, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, see Squash moving forward. Going to be able to snipe off the Toxotes, trading Toxotes each. Squash at 116 population. Kimo's 105 population, so big advantage here for Squash. He's still not ready to really take this fight here. Looks like there's maybe just too many Toxotes here in this game thus far. The Ajax though getting caught out. That's a big pick there. Lots of resources or lots of tanking, lots of DPS tank that has been sniped there without return fire. Nice play there from Squash. Still going after this temple. Still wants to take one of those relics away from Squash because they are still both very, very good. And we'll see if that's what's going to happen here as Squash is going to be coming in. He's got the Hippocon out. He's going to be able to take this fight very, very nicely here. As we are seeing all the Hippocon are falling. Nice pullback there. Kimo going to be utilizing his restoration here, pulling back his units before deciding to return into this fight. I still think the Hippocon give the edge now to Squash here as Kimo is deciding he's going to have to retreat away. Moving very slowly. He's going to lose a lot of HP. The restoration is being used. Third town center now on the way for Kimo as he is behind in population, behind in villager count, and in a very difficult position here. 112 population to 130. You see Kimo turning around, trying to take down these Hippocon. And he is slowly but surely killing them off. Well, nice marker there. This is one of the things that Hades does really nicely in the Greek mirror is he attracts some fire, and you can just kind of treat him like Son of Osiris and move forward or not Son of Osiris, treat him like a cavalry in a way, or a raiding cavalry, and you can just dodge arrows with him and just be Neo, Chiron the Neo dude, Areno, thingamajiggy, or what? Yes, that's what I said. Anyways, we are seeing Squash retreating back now. Toxotes are all out, doing their thing. Kimo's now swinging around here, maybe going to take down some other Toxotes, but ooh, Squash being sneaky over here. Kimo is not going to expect this gold mine to be getting gathered from at all here. He sees there's no one on this gold mine, and the more thing that he will expect is this gold mine to be grabbed, and funnily enough, Squash is over there as well. So Kimo's not really making the decisions here that he should, and we just see one villager over here. Maybe Kimo will check this gold mine. I don't think so. Squash is just continuously prodding in and out over here as he's got his farms up. He's in a very, very sound, strong position here. Kimo, 143 of 145 population, 145 population, but what he should probably be, the Hippocon does spot this. What Kimo should probably consider doing here is cancelling unit production in order to allow his villagers to keep coming out. He wants to get up to 80 villagers, so cancel the military production and be in a decent position. There's the Aphrodite coming through for Squash as the Nemean Lion comes in, so we can easily cast Curse on this, and Squash is just super far in front right now in terms of everything. He's full villages, full army, full age up on Kimo, as Kimo's going to be desperately trying to get to the next stage. He's got farms out everywhere though. Lots of villages on wood, not so many on the food, as he is continuously building these archers, and there is the curse. How many pigs? 7 pigs, 8 pigs, so 8 kills there with that curse. Very, very smart play from Squash as he's pushing Kimo back. We do see the walls up, but they're not quite finished here. Kimo's overdone it on the gold here for the time being. And he needs to finish off this wall. Over here, we've got gold villages kind of everywhere. For Kimo is just finishing off the gold in his base as well. But Squash is just going to keep pushing in. I would not be surprised to see Squash just say, look, going to stop production. He's getting himself a heavy cavalry. Wouldn't be surprised to see a better option here being no cavalry, just mark it and straight to the Mythic Age. But not the choice here for Squash at all, as these Hippocon are getting snipes down. Nice play here for Squash. Taking down all the archers and everything else, as the Ajax sneakily coming in here, going to get sniped down. Nice play. These Hippocon also going to fall as well. And Kimo is very much hurting at this point. At 124 of 125 population with no food in the bank as you go into the next age. He's going through Aphrodite now, so it's going to have some sort of recourse to get some damage done, but we've got heavy cavalry, so the Aphrodite, the curse, not going to be as good. But Kimo, he's trying to survive here. He's trying to hold on. See the gate going to start getting taken down. These Toxotes, they deal, and Hippolyta, 19 damage a second. Or a shot. I'm not sure if they shoot every 1 second. I think they do. Bomb. 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 Yeah, it's about, I reckon that's about 1 second there. But Toxotes now coming through for Kimo. Look at how close these are in damage. This is just because of the relic. It's 0.4 damage here, differential. So it just doesn't matter that much anymore that he's Hades. Nice micro here from Squash, dodging those Toxotes beautifully here. And he's going to keep on doing that, as these Toxotes here now have heavy Toxotes. So again, curse not going to be that good, but we will probably see it done nonetheless. And how many did he get here? We jump over to Squash's perspective. Oh, he actually got a ton. 9. God, is that... That's so many. So many kills. I don't know if all of these were here as well anyways at the start, but so many pigs. So many pigs. And now surely Squash is going to be going Mythic Age here. Yeah, he's going Hephaestus. I'm surprised to see Hephaestus, to be honest. I think that maybe Artemis here is actually just a little bit better. Like, for one, you get access to the stronger archer technology, which cannot be understated how good that is. But two, you get access to Chimera and also Earthquake. And Earthquake's very good at this stage because Kimo's not going to be fortified town centers. You're definitely going to get some value out of it. And you can then also get your own upgrades behind it. Thus, you will not lose a town center to your opponent's potential Earthquake. And now Squash swinging around with his Hippocon, doing all the good things. As Kimo retreating back. You see a little raid over here. I love these raids from Kimo. Utilizing the myth unit to get these raids in is always very, very good. We do see the walls getting set up for Squash, but maybe too little too late. The villagers will have to pull through this gate here, and they're going to move into this gold mine. That's a smart decision from Squash, to be sure. We are seeing some counter cavalry coming through with those prodromus. They get picked off very, very quickly here. Hey, thanks so much for the $10, Mr. McPie. I appreciate you. Thank you.
If you could play a Settlers map, that would be dope AFF. Love the AOM contact. Keep it up, bro.
All right, man. We'll check out Settlers at some point, I'm sure. Anyways, Squash retreating back. And the heavy prodromus pushing in, doing their thing. These gold villagers doing their thing, trying to hold on here. Hephaestus does come through now for Squash, so he's going to have access to his Colossus. He's got his Plenivolt in the back of his base now, and we will be seeing a Forge of Olympus immediately here. We've got DJ Siggy Colored in the chat saying, returning player here, are the Oriental gods banned? I believe Oriental, you mean Chinese gods banned, or there's an unwritten rule, it's good manners to not use them. They're not banned, it's just we play on Voobly for competitive games, not on Age Mythology Extended Edition. If we were to play on the Extended Edition, the Chinese gods are fair game, though we have seen in recent history the Fuji god has been banned from certain tournaments over the past. But I think a lot of players might disagree with that ban. as it's coming through, but, you know, it's pretty strong. Anyways, the Toxotes still pushing forward here. I do think that I would like to see the Chinese played on Voobly. I would love to see a port over from Extended Edition into Voobly, but I don't think it's possible because of the code, the way the code's been done. But anyways, back to the game. Squash holding here. He's got his Toxotes. He's in the Mythic Age. How far is Kimo from the Mythic Age? He's probably about a minute 30 away. He's got his market up. He could sell the gold, go to the Mythic Age. Sell the wood, go to the Mythic Age. Very, very easy here. We will be seeing the Colossus coming over here, going to be eating the Savannah tree, as Kimo says. What are you doing? Let me shank you. At this point, I don't know if Squash should really be fighting this. He just got to the Mythic Age. He should pull back, sit on his advantage. He's getting his copper shields out, copper weapons out, and copper mail out. So he just needs to sit on this advantage and then attack and fight when he's at bronze. If he's at bronze, then he's way far in front, and Kimo's not going to be able to do too much. But if he's attacking now, it's like, why did you go to the Mythic Age? I don't understand. Anyways, we've got Kimo just walking around. And it is looking like Squash is allowing Kimo back into this game just a little bit. There's more upgrades coming through. How's the economic upgrades? Pretty much perfect as everything except for Carpenters here. And now the champion Toxotes are in, and this explains a lot as to why Squash was losing that fight before. He was just investing in all the tech. Meanwhile, we do see Random Fortress up on this position as Squash returns back to his gold mine. He does have the trade set up, whereas Kimo does not. And oftentimes when you start trade, if your opponent hasn't started trade, it's going to feel very hard to take these fights because you're investing a lot of resources here into this trade. Every 15 seconds, 100 food. And that's worth 8 villages on your food, basically. So it can be very, very tough for you to continue. We are seeing Polyphemus coming out for Squash. Going to send that one over to the fortress to try and take that down. And Squash is trying to get back up to his upgrades here. There's the iron upgrades coming through. Is Kimo in the Mythic Age yet? He's going through Artemis. Kimo's going through Artemis. I don't know if I like that at all. Surely Squash has got Masons. No, he doesn't. Maybe it's going to work. Get some value out of Earthquake. But it is against Poseidon as well, so it's still like, well, where are you going to Earthquake? And Squash is still trying to fight this, but he just doesn't have the units here at this point, does he? It's just short population. We are seeing Kimo going to be retreating away, though, as it is looking like the armory upgrades coming in clutch. How's the armory upgrades for Kimo? He's got nearly full bronze, just needs a little bit more. But Kimo hits Artemis. Now he's going to have access to that Chimera to start raiding Squash's economy. And this game is surprisingly close considering how far ahead Squash was not 2 minutes ago. And now Toxotes doing their thing, taking out the Hippocon and everything else. There's a Chimera coming in, going to push forward and take down these Toxotes nicely. Well played. Utilize that one well, but now the heroes going to get good damage done over here. We are seeing yet again another fortress getting taken down by the Polyphemus here. You could utilize the special ability to snipe one of these villages. I'm pretty sure the big whack does kill one instantly here. And Squash has just got so many resources in the bank, but just not able to get the units out. We've got Antos in the chat saying this is just not enough military buildings, and it's absolutely correct here. He's only got 6 military buildings, and Kimo is making him pay at this point, trading hyper efficiently here, just based on sheer unit mass. And the other thing is that Squash is probably over-economized just a little bit too hard. You might want to start spreading units around and building buildings everywhere. As Kimo is starting to do that, he does throw up his own Matrius market here. Squash has got one over here, so Kimo is replicating said Matrius market on this location. He can wall this off and feel good about this. These ponds in the corner do make it very tough to hold that location there, especially if your opponent can sort of set up on it. Now Kimo having to retreat back yet again. It's full iron upgrades here versus still not full bronze. So Squash still happy to take these fights, even though he's kind of underpopulated in here. We'll see how it's all going to go. As both players still fighting, we do have a cheeky raid over here, going to take down the Sentinel. These Hippocon are absolutely beefy here. They'll be able to take these villages down very, very quickly, though the town center equally takes down takes down Hippocon very, very fast as well. So these Hippocon will fall on this location as Squash has to retreat yet again. We do see this. Polyphemus has managed to take down another fortress, and now he's able to start killing off these villages. Watch the Polyphemus use his special ability here on one of these villages. Boom, dead. Every 20 seconds. Polyphemus is actually a sleeper OP raider, if you ask me. But the village is going to be moving off that gold mine, and Kimo hasn't started trade yet. Well, he's starting trade, but he's only really got this gold mine left. So he might have to consider multiple markets here at this point, which is very tough to keep going. He's only got the one. So we'll see how that's going to go. The Polyphemus does get tapped. And still pushing in onto this location over here, taking villages down over here. We are still seeing Kimo able to take this fight relatively well at this point. But remember, one, we've said it before, but one, Squash is over-economized. But two, you have to remember, he's also got plenty vault. So he's got an extra 10 population to play with in terms of economy if he so chooses. Ooh, nice micro here from Squash. He's so good at doing this. It's so annoying playing against players who are really good because they'll just consistently move their speedy units around that are getting targeted and just play Matrix with them. We do see a Juggernaut coming out here, going to start taking down Kimo's market. It's pretty cheeky here from Squash, but he needs to remember that he's made it. And he is getting naval auxiliaries as well. And this will just push the market back this far. So it doesn't do a whole lot, but it is just frustrating for Kimo to have to deal with it. As right now, Kimo is going to take down the storehouse over here. He's got decent control of this location, throwing military buildings kind of up everywhere. But Squash is just going to continuously push through the middle of the map. And like I said, I'm not sure if Kimo was set up here, he's fine, but it's still going to be hard for Squash to edge out any significant advantage. So what you kind of need to start doing here with Squash is he's got all these resources. Take these villages off of wood or something, move forward and start walling between all of these forests, get stone walls, and just start constricting your opponent's position at this point in the game. And where's that market up? He's built another market on this side, Squash has. Going to this town center. If he gets pushed off here, it's going to be fine. We do see the shades coming over here as well. You see this military academy slowly but surely getting taken down. The Atlanta raids. Oh, Kimo will decide to tap out in this position. He probably could have kept fighting, but I mean, he's pushed off. Oh, no, he can't. He's pushed off this gold mine. He's got no gold left. It's just way too tough for him to keep going here in this game. But this does show the power of early trade. Getting that trade going might a lot of the time feel like you're slowing down in other areas, but that is what it is. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.